Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kura Isagami, your resident tinkerer and Medarotter, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Well, as we crest into week 2 of the Gear Fighter Dendoh collaboration, things are only spiking up just a little bit as far as the excitement is concerned, even if the models that are coming out this week will be on the relatively quieter front. We have one brand new model that was announced in the trailer that will be dropping this week, in addition to a number of a brand new event and medal, and a lot of other really exciting things in between. But I do also have a very big and exciting announcement for you guys as far as Project Rising Beetle and the MNN is concerned, after I finish all the usual meta news coverage. So please do make sure that you tune in and stick around to the very end for that very big announcement, because there's going to be some exciting stuff incoming and I want you guys to be the first to know. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced for this week, starting with the gacha banners and who to expect in this week's coming lineup as far as banners and events are concerned. Now, like I said, we are only getting one brand new model this week, much like we did last week with Gear Ogre and Gear Dendoh. But this week we see the introduction of GFD 2 Polar Vega with a kit of Commander, Ranged Sword, Unsuccess M, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Lightweight. Now you may notice here that in contrast to Gear Ogre, who released a lot of new stuff this last week, Polar Vega is not releasing anything new at all, very similar to Gear Dendoh, the event reward. But that is actually perfectly fine, because it is still a pretty solid and well-rounded, well, all-rounder type support kit, I can say. Commander for giving a radar sight and stealth boost to self, Ranged Sword for basically your all-round melee coverage, close and long range, and Unsuccess M for guaranteeing that you can still stay on your toes even if the enemy tries to stay on your behind. So it is going to be a very solid model all the way around, and I'm impressed overall with the way this kit is designed and how it's going to portray in performance when it does officially drop. Now, alongside Polar Vega, with the boosted rates going live with her banner, are a couple very familiar faces, and one of them, honestly, I would definitely recommend as a major push for, if if Polar Vega is not the model in particular that you're shooting for. Those boosted rates are for CAR-0 Land Motor, everyone will know and love extremely well, with a kit of Radar Sight, Double Anti-Air, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Primacy, who can also meta change into a proper car-like form with a kit of Missile, Shoot Boost, Mobile Boost, Wield Legs, and maintaining Primacy as a leg ability. Additionally, we also see VRG-0 Virgo officially making another drop as well, with a kit of Gunpowder Guard, Double Charge Plant, Wield Legs, and the leg ability of Shape Memory. Now, a lot of folks who know Virgo or even use Virgo, myself included, will tell you this base form is not exactly what you use Virgo for anytime she's on the team. And that specifically is for her meta change form, where she will shed all particularly solid matter, I guess you can call it, into a puddle, and change her kit entirely for Guard 500, Shoot Trap, and Melee Trap with Sea Legs and the leg ability of Fortress. And this honestly and very easily puts her in the top 3 category, or rather, the big 3 I can call them, of defenders in the game. If you can get a hold of Virgo, even if the terrain may not be super great at first, Guard 500 and Fortress on top of that make her extremely useful for keeping enemy fire off the glass cannon or DPS and kind of help things as healthy as possible. So, worst case scenario, even if you end up not shooting for Polar Vega and end up going for Virgo, or even by extension Land Motor for your anti-air coverage, you still are going to end up pretty well on top, since both of those are meta change models, and by default means you either will get the entire set at once, or unfortunately none at all. For the fierce battles we have going on this week, it's going to be a pretty heavy emphasis on close range ability specifically, with a lot of mixed range variety in between. So that being said, on this top row, we're starting off with CLB-02 Side Move, with a kit of Hammer, Conceal, Guard, Sea Legs, and Explorer. We have HMS-0 Jungarian with Radar Sight, Double Gatling, Float Legs, and Mascot, and KBT-11 Sagehorn with Triple Sword, Biped Legs, and Generator. On the bottom row, we have KWG-11 Hirschkäfer with Triple Rifle, Biped Legs, and Radiator. EPI-0 Bone Cracker with Heel Trap, Double Sword, Float Legs, and Straight. and PTL-0 Air Terra with radar sight, double sword, flight legs, and straight. So like I said, very heavy emphasis this week on a lot of close range melee and close range combat. So between side move with hammer, sage horn, bonecracker, and air tear with lots of basic sword or hammer attacks. A couple of mixed ranges as well between Hirschkäfer and Jungarian as well, but still never hurts to collect all these models just for the sake of having them in the library. That being said, I would ultimately have to continue to grant MVP of the week in this case to Sagehorn and Hirschkäfer, primarily on the grounds that even if they don't seem overly impressive at first glance, basic non-heavy rifle and sword parts are fantastic filler parts that you can use just about anywhere that you need to fill in a hole. And even if they may not have the best stats overall, if you're just starting out or a brand new player in the game, these very beginner-friendly models are things you can never ever go wrong with using anytime you have to use them on the team. For events, as far as Medarot S is concerned, it's going to be fairly quiet this week as far as new or exciting stuff is concerned, but still a lot of very high-end prizes that are on the line and on the table for this week. That being said, for week 2 of the Gear Fighter Dendoh collaboration, we're starting off with an opportunity to earn the Rider Medal, which is a Guard Nature Medal with a mastery in melee, shooting, and support, and leg masteries in biped, floating, and wheel. We can also earn another profile banner featuring Vega herself from the GFD series, and we can also earn another wave of monthly gacha tickets and other limited time resources. These include power-up chips and boosters, rubies, the monthly gacha tickets as you see here, and anything else of the like. This event specifically, in contrast to last one, will be a ticket-based event, so bonuses will be stacking per part equipped across the team based on how you put your team together. So make sure that you consult the previous slides as well for the fierce battles and the boosted rates for anything to help you with maximizing that bonus. And if you got lucky and collected any of the original Gear Fighter Dendoh models from week 1, Gear Dendoh or Gear Ogre, you might have a little bit more of an advantage as well to carry you off into the second wave of the overall collab through the month of September. Now for Medarot Survivor, on the other hand, it is going to be fairly quiet, but with another very exciting face joining the game, and that is ATN0 Sparta Regina, designed by Junichi Akutsu, who, in case you are not very well aware, has a very, and I mean very, impressive rep sheet of a lot of Gundam and mobile suit designs. A lot of them include the Gundam Seed, the Astray, Origin of the Red Comet, I think, was one on his rep sheet as well. So a lot of very impressive, I mean truly impressive past experience that Mr. Akutsu has worked with. And as you see here with Sparta Regina, going after a Athena, goddess of war kind of design is really, really creative. Now, Sparta Regina, as far as what she brings to the field, is an exceptionally well-rounded all-rounder type or starter unit. So she has a lot of power and armor type buffs. She has a skill refresh that lets you re-roll on level up a few more times. She's got a cooldown boost, and her ultimate, if you manage to get her up to MR, allows the ability to despawn any incoming enemy projectiles that are thrown at you, which might really come in handy in those heavy hordes of long-range fighters that get in your way. So it's going to be very exciting and interesting to see how well that Sparta Regina will match up when she does officially drop this week in Meta Survivor. And eventually, I'm expecting to see her in Meta S as well. Moving on to community-based stuff, though, as always, we are continually looking for translators to assist us with any current and ongoing projects or endeavors. That includes the Medarot 4 translation or any manga translations that are currently halted at the moment. So if you are knowledgeable in coding or cleaning or Japanese and have some time on your hands, or if you know somebody that might be, we would absolutely love to get in touch with you and have you help us out. You can join us on Discord in the link provided. You can ask me, ask around. We'd be happy to get you up to speed. You can also spread the word to anyone that you think might know, might be willing, or be interested in lending a hand. And if you find that you are not able to in any way, there is a link to Variant's crowdfunding in the comments below as well, where you can donate to the cause, and we can contribute to, we can commission to have some of those extra lines of text translated on our behalf. So that'll take a lot more work off the translators, so all they have to do is mostly just typesetting and cleaning, which is usually very good on their end because it makes it a lot easier for them to complete more stuff and get the patch or updates to the patch out faster. Now, moving on though, there is another very, very big announcement I have in store for you guys. I've been working with the admin team for the PRB Discord as well as I made an announcement yesterday as a teaser leading up to it, and I'm excited to tell you guys about this, just to kind of keep you guys in suspense as an exciting new update. And that is the announcement of another Project Rising Beetle Ori Meta contest in our Discord server. So we're going to be celebrating leading up to Medarot Day 2025, which is only in just a couple short months now, and I figured that this would be a really great way to amp up and ramp up the excitement as we prepare to celebrate another year of Medarot. And all the joy and creative designs and amazing artists that they've given us over the years. Now, this contest, however, does have a couple of rules in it that have been slightly changed and modified to make this one a little more interesting, and I will actually be taking a couple minutes to go over those rules in just a minute. But the general overall view here is, as you see, the duration will be from September 16th, so starting next week, to the 11th of November. So a solid 2 full months that you guys have to work on designs while this contest is active. There is a free-for-all theme, which means there is no theme prompt whatsoever for when this contest does drop. You can go from any design, any theming, any approach, however you want to do it. There is no rule, aside from, of course, being within reason of general common sense. And, of course, the reward, like I said, this one's going to be a little more incentivized because there is a personalized concept art, much like I have previously offered, but there will also be a cash prize on the table for anyone that is participating and earns the top spots. So, like I said, that is just the first of a couple really big surprises that I have in store for this one. So, I'm going to take just a couple minutes here and go over all the rules with you so you guys are aware, since this one is going to be pretty exciting in my honest opinion. So, as you see here, just going over a couple of the rules for the duration. The contest will be running from September 16th and ending on November 11th, and I will announce the winners on my channel close to Medarot Day 2025, which will be roughly about a week and a half after that contest ends. So like I said, roughly about a solid 2 months that you guys have to work on designs and submit them once the channels for the submissions and contest discussion do go up in the Discord. For the theme prompt, like I said, there is no theme prompt for this contest. It is a free-for-all, no-holds-barred, let your creativity soar with any type, design, theme that you would like to approach. The prizes, however, like I said, I'm going to go over this in just a little bit more detail because this one has been massively overhauled from previous contests, and I think you guys might appreciate this. We are changing things up this time around with a much more lucrative prize pool, but it comes with a little bit of a contingency that'll be entirely determinant on you all. So, this ultimately means that the more entrants and participants we have in this contest, the more lucrative it ends up for you guys in the long run. Now, to break that down specifically, if the number of total entries by the time the contest ends is 20 or fewer, there will be one top prize with a grand prize of $150 on the table, and plus, of course, the personalized concept art, and 2 runners-up at $25 each. Now, if you guys decide to blow our socks off with a bunch of designs, however, that's where things change it up. If the number of entrants are 21 or more, there will be 2 top prizes at $100 each, and of course the personalized concept art for the 2 winners. And there will be 3 runners-up at $30 each. So the more people that submit, the more people and higher likelihood somebody's going to end up with a cash prize in the pool. So we're very excited for this, but it also comes with a couple more bonuses. The first of which is if you guys can reach the 2nd tier, again 21 or more, I will personally arrange a group of content creators, fellow content creator VTuber streamers as a panel, and I will host a live stream on my channel when we get that set up, and we will go over all of the designs that were submitted, talk about all of them, and then deliberate on winners and runners-up in real time, and with you guys being able to hang out with us and talk to us while we do it. So that one is entirely contingent on if we have lots of entrants, but there is another rule here that is being added. The prize money in particular, if you are selected as a winner or a runners-up, can be administered in a number of different ways based on preference. That can be in the value of a gift card to your particular medium of choice. It can be a direct PayPal deposit, or it can also be specifically for Medarot S players. It can also be your choice of Webstore bundles that are available that can be redeemed. So these include limited bundles for tickets and gotcha and rubies, or any other big ticket items that you're looking for that are on the Webstore. So there are lots of different ways that you can earn this prize, and I want to make sure you guys stay on top of it. But moving forward as well, just as a reminder, we are not looking for art quality. We're looking for creativity and originality. So do not let your sucky drawing skills stop you from entering. We are happy to see whatever you decide to submit. Reminder, Horomarin himself once said that designs do not have to be complex or intricate. And Mr. Tagro echoed this thought as a reminder and called back to my What is Medarot collab, emphasized it with the lack of refinement. So you don't have to create anything super complex or very well thought out. Just put your thoughts to paper and refine it, because you have 2 months to put stuff together and submit it. Submissions. Well, actually, before I get to that, entries must be drawn by the participant, not commissioned. I've had this happen a couple times in previous contests, so I want to make sure I address this now. There is also no limit to the number of submissions from the participants. Bear in mind, however, that if you submit more than one entry into the contest, if one of your entries is submitted or selected as a finalist, the others remaining from you are not allowed to be selected, so something to bear in mind. But moving forward, submissions, there will of course be a specialized channel for art submissions and a second for discussion. Please, of course, keep relative conversations in those in the respective channels. Simple rule. Entries, however, as I move forward here, just to cover this in detail, entries must contain these elements in order to be considered as participants. And I did provide a couple of samples that I did as well as examples. They must contain a model ID and name of the Medarot in question that you're designing. They must include part names and skills for all models. I, of course, will include a link to the master skill set for Medarot S if you do need that. It must also include art of at least one angle of your model. And of course, most importantly, your signature. I cannot emphasize this enough. If there is no signature on the art, I will not count it. Because as an artist, I put an emphasis and importance on making sure art goes credited. Very plain, very simple. Additionally, optional stuff that's nice to have but you don't need it in your submission is at least one additional art piece on the model, either as a sketch or as concept art that shows other angles. So front, back, sides, profile, however you want to put it. And of course, a small explanation on your concept. One thing I want to specify on this specifically, this needs to be on the art. You cannot put it in the comment that you're submitting your entrant in the discussion. It needs to be on the art specifically when you go to submit it. I am going to ask this very kindly that you guys adhere to this, please, because if there's any concept or any other information that you need us to know when putting your concept together, any background information, I'm not going to count or consider anything that's added outside of the art. So please keep this in mind. One last thing, and this was a new thing that's going to be added going forward in all future contests. If you are fine with us tagging you for your art, especially if you are selected as a finalist, either as a runners-up or as a grand prize winner, please do include a link to your socials of choice somewhere in the art, because that means that we're able to credit you for your art and your creation, because like I said, as an artist, I put a very high emphasis on this, and I want to make sure that everyone gets credited for any designs or any feedback that they put into designing. So please make sure you put that on the art somewhere if you do not mind us crediting you somewhere when we do officially pick that stuff. On the topic of art, though, moving forward, though, because that does basically cover the Ori Meta rules and submissions, as always, I am always open for commission as well for any art-based stuff. No, I will not draw your Ori Meta design before you ask. I'm not gonna do that for you. I am open for commission for any live 2D models ready to rig, 3D models with the works, or just standard 2D art or emote bundles as you see here. I will do just about anything as you see, minus anything NSFW or Gore, so just something to keep in mind on that front. But do feel free to reach out to me on Twitter, Discord, Blue Sky, whatever your content platform of choice is, and we can most certainly try to make something happen. I'm very excited for this art concept that we will be starting up this next week, so I'm really hoping that you guys can get on the ball and get started with this heads-up announcement before it does officially go live. But that does basically cover everything for this week's episode, so like I said, fairly quiet as far as the collaboration is concerned, and with Meta S, with Meta Survivor, but it is going to be very exciting with that, or with the Ori Meta contest that we will be hosting here over the next couple months. So, that being said, if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page, or the Metabots Forever community that I do also run and manage, and currently soaring over 50,000 members. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided and in the comments below to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action. This includes includes any new links to merchandise, fan art, contests, my weekly episodes, or anything else of the like. That is the first place you're going to hear it before it goes anywhere else. And of course, that is also where you'll be able to submit or participate in the Ori Meta contest over these next couple months. You can also reach out to me personally on Twitter, Discord, or Blue Sky at IsagameKura. So if you have any questions or feedbacks or concerns, or anything else of the like, I leave my DMs open on purpose for this very reason, so do not hesitate to reach out. That includes also if you'd like to collaborate with me, which is either having you here on the MNN as a guest host, or me stopping in on your channel for a friendly chat or game. I would love to coordinate with you. That being said, as we're getting ready to ramp up for Medarot Day 2025, I am very excited for anything that they may possibly announce. I don't want to set false expectations, but even with that aside, I am very excited all the same, and I hope you guys are as well. But with all that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping in, just as you always do. And until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.